and welcome back to
It's different.
Welcome.
Talk about the high.
Now you're working for something that's going to
life, church, together,
That can be a
comment and
benefit.
share. Oh,
It's up to
just
you.
say keep going.
Yeah,
She said keep going. Bet, bet,
I did
bet.
that real good.
Hit us with that next question.
Okay,
we ready.
so
We
you
having fun out
guys
here,
been
y'all.
talking a lot with outside the bubble, right? So what about how do you welcome new people into the bubble? Like, how do you approach that? Like, do you just do you just dump the rules on them, or how they go?
Never dump the rules.
That's actually a really good
That's
question.
a great question.
That's actually a really good
I think.
Ooh,
I'm sorry. I just
that was
like
different.
we're doing like this is like a part 2, so I gotta like re-energize
Oh,
myself.
you're gonna be like, guys.
Yeah, like should we do like an intro or something?
Dak said
Like
keep going.
Just keep going.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that it's really good to how should I say this? Like sprinkle, like
Yeah.
ease them in there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I think a lot of the mistakes people make when it comes to that is they just be like trying to give them a whole plate
Right.
of food. Like they can't even digest that
Yeah.
yet, bro. Like they're literally new in
Start
the
'em on
faith.
that milk.
Like yeah, like
Start 'em on that
they got a twig and you trying to swing on their tree. Like, you gonna break it. Like dag. Like let them grow. Give them some water. Like dag. So I think the best way that I do is I just try to like be friendly, be nice, sprinkle, let them do their thing, but just be there as a support and a help to them, whatever they need basically.
Because I feel like that's the thing, like, especially, like, again, another beautiful thing about the church family aspect of it, naturally, they'll just change things. Like as they continue on, they'll just stop doing things because it's like, oh, the people at church don't do that.
Right.
Like, you see it so
Yes.
many times, like,
Yes.
they'll start doing something, and just be like, oh, nobody else is doing that.
Right.
Why am I still doing that?
Yeah.
You just don't. It's like
Yeah.
when you don't make it feel like they have to drown in everything
100%.
Oh,
you
yeah,
didn't have
yeah.
to drown in it.
100%.
You grew up in it. You
Facts.
had years to understand.
Gradually.
You giving them 2 minutes, be like, okay, so this is everything. Do it.
Exactly. Like they can't like do it
go.
fresh and you rebuking him for fasting,
Like,
like
come
not
on.
fasting. Like, why are you
Yeah.
eating today? Like we supposed to be fasting. Like
Right,
stop.
A second.
Let them eat they Fruit
Let 'em
Loops.
understand
Like,
it.
dang, they gonna get there eventually.
I think one of the number one things, and God has made us social creatures, right? And dependent creatures, but social creatures. I think the number one thing, especially for young people, is you just have to be surrounded by people of like faith, right? Like you have to. I don't care who you are as a young person. If you are as a new Christian on a new Christian walk and you surround yourself with sinners, you will fail.
Yes.
There's
That
zero
is a
there's
fact.
zero
Yeah.
chance.
Bishop says
Zero
all the
chance.
time they will change you before
Yes.
you change them.
100%. You
Facts.
have to surround yourself with people of like faith.
100%.
And like you said, things will start to happen. It will just strengthen you. Like it's different. Like the verse that we say, one puts 1,000 to flight, two puts to 10,000, right? Right. We can follow that same concept when it comes to people who are filled with the Spirit and just Christians, right? One person who walks in their faith, okay, that's good. Two people, that's way better. Don't get a room full of Christians who prayed this morning and read their Bible. Oh my gosh. Like it's a whole different environment.
Exactly.
Like you and we need to talk about this a lot too, because we talk about it and we use the term rules. And it does kind of start off as rules. But when we're talking about sinning, it's not only you won't sin, it's you won't want to.
Exactly.
The desire will start to
Facts.
disappear. Your heart will change in front of you.
Yeah.
And you'll kind of be like, wait, like, how did I get here, right? And it's like when you really give it to God and you surround yourself with those people, the people that you're supposed to surround yourself with, like, things will just start to transform.
Exactly.
on their
Yeah.
own.
It's like literally like just talking, like giving, like
Yes.
conversations like
Yeah.
this,
Literally like
like literally make me go home and like motivate me to
Right.
get like deeper spiritually. Cause like my friends are on that level and it just takes you higher and higher, makes you want to dive deeper in God. But I want to hit something that's very important as well. I think that if you are,
I was like, were you in the mic?
kissing the mic,
It's all right.
Dad.
It's all right. He's
That was a
dedicated.
lot.
He really loves this, guys.
this-
He
Okay,
loves
easy
this
on
a
him.
lot.
It better be good too. Y'all better receive it.
I know that's
kissing
right.
the mic. I was leaning all the way.
All in there.
So everybody lean in. Everybody lean in.
Woo! hope they sanitize this. I'm sorry for whoever's next. But what's really important is if you are not strong in your walk or in your faith, or if you're struggling at the moment, I know you can make it, but if you're struggling, please, I implore you, please do not befriend new Christians just yet until you get yourself together.
Wow.
Because I promise you
Wow.
that if you, as a struggling saint, which is
good point.
okay,
Yeah.
if you as a struggling saint are trying to lift up someone who is new to this thing, you're going to confuse them and mess up their whole trajectory.
For real.
So
That's
I
so
think
true.
you, as a Christian who is struggling in your faith at the moment, let someone else who's a little stronger than you take care of that new relationship until you get on that level.
Because the thing is with that, at this point, you are much worse than any of the center friends they could have got.
100%.
That's
Because
so
it's
true.
like
That's
their
so
center
true.
friends,
That's a
they
fact.
have nothing to say on Christianity. You are diminishing their idea of
Facts.
Christianity.
Facts.
Every single word you say.
Facts.
You
Facts.
are showing them that this walk means
Nothing,
nothing.
literally.
Like,
You're like, oh,
Wow,
I'm
that's
confused,
so-
and I've been in this for years.
like they know you grew up in this and you still don't got
Do
it.
not tell them that. Like, do not tell them. They don't. We need to
Stay
hear
over
that.
there.
Like, stay over there.
Stay over there.
Just for now. Like,
It's
we
okay.
love you.
Until
I
like
swear.
you'll get it, but don't get
just
nobody
don't-
else.
Don't tell nobody else.
No. Bible says, if you offend one of these, someone that's young in their faith, millstone tied to
Around
your
your
neck.
neck.
But he didn't stop there. He said,
Throw them in the sea.
Throw him in the sea.
Oh my Lord.
God said, drown yourself.
He said,
You're done.
kill them.
You're done.
Bro.
A millstone around your neck.
God does not
Yeah.
play that. He does not play stumbling
He said,
blocks.
do it to yourself. I didn't even realize that.
Tie it about
Said
your
you're
neck
done.
and
Do
throw
it.
yourself.
Tie it around your neck.
Be
and
thrown
jump.
into the sea. Go into the
Yeah,
sea.
he's not playing. He's not
He
playing.
don't play that. That's really good advice.
Yeah.
Stay away.
Just stay away, please.
Get strength on your own.
Please
Matter of
stay
fact,
away.
the people you need to be around is people that are stronger than you.
Exactly.
That's what you always want to
Yes.
Why
do.
you fighting the weak one?
Please, like, oh.
Be around people who are stronger than
I
you.
know you are not possessed of the devil, but the devil can use you. Like,
Yeah.
he literally
Yes.
can.
Yes.
The devil can use you to take this young,
The devil
fresh,
can use
excited
Christians.
saint to just totally believe they have no chance in this walk. Like, so I think it's really important. Just make sure you're strong in your faith before you befriend new Christians. So, that's really good.
The devil can still use Christians. That's
Isaiah,
facts.
We are ready.
Isaiah,
for the
ready
next
for your next question, sir?
Ready for the next question. Okay. So, based on what you just previously said, Jeremiah, how would you advise one of those new incomers how to be a part of the family? Because you talked a lot about it. Not necessarily the rules, we covered that, but how do they be a part of the family that's been growing for the past 20 years?
Yeah. I think that's really on us, like
Yeah.
as members of the church, to be a part of the family. I feel like they have to feel welcomed, to want to be a part of the family. I feel like it's our responsibility to open that seat for them to sit down. You can't really force them to be a part of the family because some people, like, they're introverts or it's hard for them to meet new people.
True.
But as long as they know at Emmanuel's Temple, I know they got a seat for me. Like, there's been many a times where young people have come to our church and they'll show up and have a great time, and then we won't see them for a little bit. But then they'll come back because they know, they got a place here if nowhere else. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's partly a big portion. Well, no, I don't know. It's our responsibility.
It's a lot of it sits on us, but there is a portion of it that sits on them as well. Be present. Like, you can't. Life still moves on. It's like we can't stop the whole world just to talk to you, right? Like, the church still moves on, and
This is an
everything moves
interesting
forward,
take.
and the process keeps going, right?
right.
It's we're inviting you on the train. We gave you a ticket, but it's still moving.
Okay.
The door is open, but it's still moving.
So I'm gonna play devil's
So
advocate.
you got to be present.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate
Okay.
because I feel like, yes,
You gotta
the
be
train is
present.
moving.
You gotta
but
be
I feel like
present.
we gotta be. Sometimes as saints, we gotta be more intentional with how we.
Oh,
reach
100%.
out to
Yeah.
them.
100%.
Like, I feel
Agreed.
like I get it because it does get crazy. Like, when after church you got this to do, this to do, this to do,
I wasn't.
and what were you?
I
referring
mean-
to? Maybe I'm misunderstanding your point.
Yeah,
Are you saying
For
they
us,
need
I
to
get
jump on the
that.
train?
yes. So
Right.
for us, I get that because we get super busy.
Right.
That's not necessarily what I was talking, because not every church is as busy as we are. Man, we be busy. We be doing a lot of stuff. Praise God. We
God
be getting
knows.
stuff done.
Work
He's
too.
faithful.
God no.
But I was just more like saying like, you know, everything can't necessarily be about them, right? And if you're not there, you can't expect relationships to just pop up out the wazoo. That's what I'm saying. Like, all I'm saying is, as a newcomer, as someone who's new coming to the faith, yes, it is a big part that we need to be welcoming. We need them to come in and enjoy it, and yes, but be present.
Sounds
right.
personal.
If you come for like a week or so, and then you disappear for 3 weeks, and then come back and like, I mean, where you been the last 3 weeks? You know, I'd love to talk to you, but where you been? I haven't seen you at service. Like that basic stuff like that. Let me see you at service.
Right. So
every week.
do you think that that's on us because they're not showing up as often? No one's checking on them.
I
like,
can't make them show up.
I mean, you can't make them show up. Okay, I guess what I get.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
and it goes both ways because, like you said, is 100% facts. We need to make them welcome. We need to reach out. Hey, how you doing? Hey, we have this going on. We're doing this thing. Come be a part. Come join. Right. But once we do that, if you don't pull up, I mean, it's really hard for us to make that connection.
If they're,
You got to build the connection. You got to build the relationship. So yes, I would say a majority of it falls on us, right? We need to be welcoming and such and such stuff. But there's still a portion that you have in it to play a part, right? It takes two to tango.
What are your thoughts
I
on
was
that?
gonna say-
You haven't said anything.
Yeah, you guys are just having such a fun.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great. I would say when I was thinking about it, more so as like this big family, and you guys just like adopt a little kid. Like, you don't know. Why are you laughing?
I'm sorry. Go
I
ahead.
like
You don't know.
I just thought
You
of something.
don't
I like
know
the
what a
example.
kid
I
has
like it.
gone through, and of course, naturally, they're gonna be a little like standoffish.
Yes.
But
Agree.
you, as the family, you do as much as you can. You push. You want them to feel welcomed, and then as the time goes on, you continue to push. But it's like, I've given you love, and it's like.
You got to receive it.
Gotta receive it.
But again, I'm all for it. You got to give the people time because you don't
Agreed.
know what people have gone through.
That's a very good point.
I'm
That's kinda
so
my
big
time.
on like you don't know
They need
people's
time.
lives,
Right.
and that's the thing because we talked about it in I guess the other episode. You're uprooting your life, and it's like I know it's hard to be like, hey, you've got this big friend group. Now I'm gonna need you to like say bye to them and then like enter it with us.
Right.
We're a big friend group
it's,
too.
It's tough.
You got to give them their time to, and I don't want to say it like that, but it is. You got to give them time to grieve their old life.
Oh,
and
that's a
and
very
it's
good point.
hard.
Time is
That
a
is
very
valid.
good point. Time
Grieve
is an
their old
important
life
factor.
for sure, because they gotta let it go.
It's a
And like
process.
everybody's not like Bishop, you know his testimony. He said he got home, he
He said-
flushed everything down the toilet, and threw everything away, and he was like, "From this day forward," in the words of John, "Never again, never again."
Everyone
yeah.
doesn't do, and it's not even that everyone doesn't do that, but it's harder for people because it's like if you never, how do I say this? If you never grieve your old life, you'll still have a chance to go back to it if it doesn't die. Like it's
You gotta
still
let it
alive
die.
to you.
Facts.
Gotta
Because
let
it's
it
like,
die.
okay, well, this will work out. I got my friends over there.
Yeah.
I just say I haven't called him in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Like, they'll be
It's-
fine with me.
It's tough, but I feel like the reason I'm so pushing so heavy on this because I feel like some people kind of like don't try really. They kind of
This is true.
expect them to just be like, oh, they're a person, come talk to me.
Right.
But I feel like it's really people don't take as big a responsibility as it really is to really like. It's hard for me. I'm not saying like I be because I got a lot to do and I already got like other friends and it's like adding a new friend. I'm not gonna lie, it's work.
Whew.
It's work.
Relationships are effort.
Relationships in general
effort.
is
It's a lot of
work.
effort.
So if I don't text
Be
you,
struggling with relationships like
yeah,
I do.
literally. So it's like adding a new person
Very true.
and a sensitive soul at that is work. And sometimes you just gotta add the work to your plate.
True.
But I feel like if we as saints get on one accord on adding this person to our plate,
Yeah.
it'll be a lot easier than one or two people trying to check and
That's
see.
a very good
Right.
But if
point.
everybody as a group, at the young people, as the church, or as the group, whatever y'all are doing, if y'all say, okay, this person's new, we all collectively are going to engraft this person. But I think what happens is you find one or two, maybe three people that are constantly trying to check up on this person. They get exhausted, and that person kind
And
of
they
just
stop.
like fades away.
That's a very good point. It's a team effort.
Has to be.
It's a team
Has to be a team effort. And
Everybody got to play a
yeah,
part.
everybody has to get on one accord with that for sure. Isaiah,
Very good point.
my man.
Okay, this is probably gonna be my last question here.
Okay.
So how do you deal with? So we talked about
For real,
church
it's been like
kids.
5 minutes.
Talked about church kids going to the bubble. Outside the bubble. We talked about newcomers
Preparation.
inside the bubble. how do we talk about the church kids that left and then came back?
Woo!
How do you deal with that?
That's a great question.
Because it seemed like a broken trust kind of there.
That's a great question.
Because, yeah.
I think that is an excellent question.
It's different for every person. I'll say that much.
I think it's
Every single person is different.
It's a great question.
Because you leave on different terms. I know some people left and they just kind of was like, you know how people just like spark a fire and they walk away from the house? That's what some people be doing when they leave.
Burning the house.
They be like, actually, guys,
When you
not
left,
coming back. And then they're like,
crazy.
hey guys, I'm back.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's
Burn
hard.
the house
Some people,
down.
they'll burn the bridge and then, but you're not, don't mess around and be the prodigal's brother.
Is it your job when they come back to rebuild it though? If let's say like you had a homie, you know what I'm saying? Y'all was tight. Hopefully I'm not, but y'all was,
Stepping on any
you know what I'm saying? I'm not stepping on any
If the shoe
toes.
fit, lace it
Bringing
up.
back any memories or
wearing it.
anything. Still wearing it.
Y'all, it be real out here on the
Therapy
catch.
session.
It be
With
real
Vinny.
on
Hey,
the catch.
it's a therapy session.
Hey,
we
get into
gotta
it.
adjust. We gotta
Now,
adjust.
now we get into
Therapy
it.
We got some of y'all
Hey,
too.
can we not? Can we talk? Like, listen.
Talk about y'all.
relax,
Listen.
relax,
We just want to know your testimony.
Relax,
We just want to know your testimony. That's all. Okay. So, I'm sorry, Isaiah. I'm moving too much, ain't I? Okay. But let's say you got a homie.
Right.
They left.
Right.
But they left on like some nasty terms. Like
Right.
they was wilding, and you had to be like, "Hey, homie, like I don't know what you want, but I'm gonna have to give you the stiff arm
Your
because
problem.
you tripping right now.
Y'all,
I love you."
Ooh.
there you go. There you go.
That was gross.
It's okay. You tried. That's worse.
Ooh,
Let's stop.
that's
Wait,
so
wait, wait.
much.
That's a
Try
four-leaf
it,
clover.
try it.
That's a
wait,
four-leaf
wait,
clover.
Ooh, no.
I don't
It's
know.
okay. It's
That's
okay.
My fingers don't work. Don't what they do? They do this? Is that?
Yeah,
I like that
that
one.
works,
I like that
that
one.
works.
That was
I like
better.
that
That was better. Okay. So you like I love you, but you got to chill, right? So
Right.
then y'all kind of have a falling out because they be tripping. Like, what you mean? I thought we was friends, and they leave the ministry, right? But then like life does, life hits them in the face, and they like, I need to go back to I know what works. You know what I'm saying? And they come back to the house of God and they get saved, and they're honestly trying. And you, as their friend or past friend, is it your job to engraft them back in, or do you wait for them to kind of come to their senses and come back to you? Because they burnt the bridge.
Right.
That was my whole point. They
Oh,
burnt the
no,
bridge.
Everybody's looking at me like,
Is it
y'all
your
got
job
the
to
same-
rebuild it?
Y'all got these
I'm ready.
same
It's
testimonies.
your therapy session. If you
Y'all
could put
got
on the
these
screen
same-
Vinny's therapy session. Vinny's
Yeah,
therapy
we're on
session.
Vinny right
Here we
now.
go. This is
I got the
this is
same
good.
problem.
Come on, friend,
We're
you
talking
got
about
it.
We've all-
yours. We're talking about
we've all lost
yours.
Friends here.
Let's go.
What's going on? What was the question?
What was the question?
I
I gave you a whole breakdown.
Right. No. I got it.
I gave you a whole Dr. Phil scenario.
got it.
There's a whole scenario. Whole
I
scenario.
worked hard on that.
Yup.
Good on you. I would say, I don't know. Of course, it's different for each person. Like we already.
You're talking about you though. So
No, I'm saying like each
She's
friend.
she's
like,
covering base.
take your time.
yes,
Sorry,
I'm
sorry.
saying it's
I'm
different for
rushing.
each friend. It does depend on the level of friendship you all are at. Because
Agreed.
I will say this: if it wasn't a person as close to me,
Mhm.
I'd just be like, "Hey, welcome back!"
Right, good to see you. Yeah,
Right?
for sure.
But it's just like you gonna go, "Hey, welcome back."
Right.
But I feel like if for some reason I know the situation you all are referring to, that
We're talking about a close friend in this situation.
yes. That is a
Hypothetical.
hypothetical.
So I don't know what you were implying right,
Right.
there. but
All
I
hypothetical.
literally made that whole scenario up, like burning bridge and stuff.
hypothetically.
You know what
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Am I stepping on
Because
toes?
as far as I know, you guys
I-
can speak on this. But
Oh, you have situations for us.
Hypotheticals.
Hypotheticals. Like, what are we talking about?
Hypotheticals.
I think we're getting somewhere where we're not
ahead,
supposed
go
to go.
ahead,
Yeah,
go
go ahead.
Finish.
No.
Go ahead,
You're helping somebody.
please.
I feel like when it comes to someone that is very close to you, because I think a lot of times, you know, we love to bring up, you can't be the prodigal's brother. You can't be the prodigal son's brother. But we don't think of how hard it was for that person. Like, because with the prodigal son's older brother, that's a completely different situation where we never see that the brothers were ever close, right? So it's like, it's not like a big rift. Like, the way everybody portrays it, they wasn't even that close anyways.
Right.
But when it comes to a close friend, it is like losing a part of you. So now you have found a way to
That's so
rebuild
real.
yourself without them. And it's like, I don't know if I can necessarily fit you back in here.
Yeah.
Aha.
And I think that is always the situation at hand. It's like, I don't know if I can fit you back in here, but you'll always have a space in my life. Like I've always said, like,
That's so good.
I don't care what it is, like you'll always have a position in how I lived my life. Like there are years and memories that could not have happened if you weren't in them.
Facts.
So you'll always get those flowers from me.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm necessarily ready to give you my future the way I gave you my past. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So it's like,
That's good.
I will open the door
That's good.
because I'll open the door. I won't lock it. The door will never be locked towards you.
Door will never be locked.
There's certain rooms you cannot enter into.
That's good.
That's
good.
See, I
That's
knew she
good.
was the right
That's-
one to
that's
answer
good.
the
That-
question.
That's good understanding.
Take out the whole therapy
That's
session.
really, 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 really good. No, I mean, I think this is really important.
was
You're
good.
helping people there
That was
because
good.
if I think of a biblical example, like Paul and Barnabas, and they weren't even leaving the church.
Yeah.
They was all in the almost in the
One
prime of their
situation.
ministry.
Yeah.
And one
thing.
They
situation,
was
and
about to throw
boom.
blows
Gone.
for real.
I think sometimes people tend to forget, like, you can be anointed and called of God for sure, but you are human.
Facts. Facts.
You are human, and there is just no way out of that. You get upset. You have feelings. You get offended.
Yeah.
You get hurt.
Facts.
You're human.
Yeah.
It's just part of the process. So I think that's really good. Like you said, they always have a place, but when you rebuilt your life, did y'all catch what she said? She said, I rebuilt my life without you. I don't know if I can add you back in. That's a very important thing.
She said, you can come in, but there's certain rooms you don't got
access to. See, and I think that's a beautiful balance. That's a beautiful balance because here's the thing. That same heart you love them with is the same heart you love God with.
That's a
Right.
fact.
Right, which is super important. And we talk about this all the time. You know, when one sinner comes back to God, you know, all of the angels of heaven rejoice. When someone comes back to God, you always receive them, open arms, smile on your face, 100%.
Facts.
But you can't always give them something that, especially if it's the same thing that you give to God, right? Which is a very important thing. Guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life.
Exactly.
I think that was a very good point. you
No,
made
yeah,
there.
man, the heart. That is a really, really, really,
very
really
good
good point. Because your heart, like you said, it's literally like the way the Bible speaks of. It's very, very important in this walk of faith. Like
Yes.
what happens to it, who you let into it. So the fact that you gave that person a piece of your heart, and they kind of, took it and said, I like threw it on the ground.
No, yeah.
It's like, it's not even wise per se
Right.
to just be like, oh, you're back, take it again.
Especially so quickly.
Especially so quickly. So I think that I really don't even have, that was great the way you broke that
Oh,
down.
please.
That was great.
That was good.
I mean, you can share some of your experience too.
I was gonna say you guys have experiences in this.
Because I
I'll
mean,
name
for
'em.
us, no, calm
I'll
down.
name them.
Calm down now.
It's nuts.
Calm down now.
Like,
calm
gosh,
down now.
About it. You guys
Gosh
acting
darn
like
it.
never experienced this.
That's an example of one person. With us, it was a whole group.
Yeah. I
was
Like
gonna say,
half of our group.
Gone.
Okay,
Let's
we
cut
get,
off.
it. We get it. Thank you, Captain Obvious. You
You
sit over there now, okay?
Hypothetically speaking,
We're hypothetically
This is
a
speaking.
hypothetical
What if they watch this
situation.
podcast? What if they watch this?
Hypothetically, you guys were on like a deserted island.
Okay,
You know what I
so
mean?
obviously we're
Like
not
when
speaking
you're home.
hypothetically.
No
we lost.
hypothetically.
We lost it. No, you can't keep
Hypothetical
saying it because
situation.
obviously.
hypothetical
Gosh,
situation.
darn it.
When you grow up as a group, and like I said, remember, like we were talking about before, we like, social creatures, especially as a young person, being surrounded with people of like faith is very important.
Right.
So when you have a group of people and those who you shared that like faith with forsake that faith,
Yeah.
that'll shake you a little
It
bit.
hurts. It does.
It will grab your attention because it makes you start questioning a lot of things.
That part.
A whole lot
Like,
of things.
I don't think people understand what the person who stayed goes through
Yeah.
just as much
Yes.
as the person who
Yes.
left went through.
Right.
Because this was your road dog in the trenches.
Yeah.
You, them, and God. Like,
we were struggling.
Literally.
like we
Literally.
went through it together.
Right.
And if you gave up and lost faith, like
You gave up.
You gave up on not even just on God, which is the most important, but you gave up on me. Like you
Literally.
gave up on your homie. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So that is definitely a difficult thing to
Because I feel like folks just don't even, because we were talking about like how nobody thinks about the person who stays, like you really start to second guess the validity of everything. Like it's
Everything.
like,
and people don't want to hear
what
that.
was my life? Like,
Yeah.
was any of this real? Like, you having heart to hearts, talking about your relationship with God, talking about how you're trying to build and what you want to do. And it's like, you still know these things. There's a person walking around who knows all of these things about me.
Yeah.
The validity of our friendship is questioned now.
Yeah.
The validity of my own Christianity is questioned now because I'm not going to lie to y'all. I had some nights when I was like, why would you put this person in my life if they were never going to stay?
Exactly.
And it's like you start, it gets you actually to a different point with God because now it's like, who am I leaning on if not you?
Yeah. They start talking about the purpose because especially now with social media. Because like back then, you know, if somebody left, it's like you don't see him. It's just like, okay. Social media, it tend to, because, you know, Satan, he's a strategist. He knows what he's doing. He's been doing this for a long time. So, of course, the moment they leave, they all over social media.
Living my best
life.
Jesus.
They all booed up in a corner with somebody. You still single by yourself, trying to walk your single Christian
Hey,
walk.
we just talked about that. It's okay to be single.
It's okay to be single.
It's okay.
Satan knows what he's doing, and he's attacking that vendetta. But like you said, let's talk about the purpose of it, right?
Yeah.
Because the wheat and tare got to grow together.
Facts.
They got to go together.
Facts.
Why? It reinforces that the only person that you can ever consistently, faithfully, always lean on is God.
Exactly.
It always points you back to him.
Right.
Because in those times, and for us, it was especially interesting because it was during COVID.
Facts.
It was really when that big thing happened.
Everything.
So
was
not
going on.
only were people falling off, but the people who weren't falling off weren't seeing each other
Exactly.
because it was COVID.
It was you.
It was you and God, bro.
In God.
It was you and God.
And I think, oh my gosh, I think people get like,
Yeah.
how am I going to say this? I feel like there was seasons where people were like mad at God. Like,
Yeah.
like
Really?
literally like, God, I don't understand why you put me through this or why you let this person come in my life. But what people don't understand is everything God does is for a purpose. Everything God does is for a reason. And it's like, I saw this video on YouTube and I was like, oh, I'm going to say that on the podcast. I don't know who you are. But he said, your life is like a rubber band. And he was like, you can't be launched or take off unless you're stretched.
Yeah.
So if you're in a tight situation or you're in a situation where you're like, it hurts and you don't understand, or you're like, God, why would you let this person come into my life if they're just going to leave? Or why would you let this happen? Or you're just confused. Even being a church kid alone, there's a lot you sit and you just don't understand sometimes. Like you're just confused. Like right now we're dealing with like your friends leaving the ministry, but it's just so many church kids that literally just are suffering because
don't get it.
there's a lot of churches that don't answer our questions.
Yeah.
Like as young people, we're literally have so many questions. Our minds are young. Like we got so much energy. Like,
Yeah.
why this?
Curiosity.
Why that? Why that?
Right.
And there's so many young people that are just like, God, I don't understand like why I'm here, which can lead to leaving. So I just feel like it's important to know that everything you go through in this Christian faith, in this walk, is a part of your stretching to like launch you into what God has for you. I feel like if you're comfortable, you're not in the right position. Right. You're not in the right position at all. So when you think about that friend who left and you're sitting there wondering like, God, what are you doing? Like, I don't understand. Like, this is what I had to help me through this trial. And it's like you forsake your purpose for preference. So if your preference is to be comfortable, to be like have that friend next to you all the time, or have this and have that. And if you're like that, you're just a rubber band, just sitting there. And God can't take you anywhere if you're not stretched. So for those people who are confused, or for those people who are like questioning, which is, understandable. Just know that everything that you go through, every trial is a part of you being stretched. As long as you keep going. If you ever give up on God, then that just takes everything out of the situation. But as long as you keep going, you have a chance and a destiny to be launched in whatever God has for you. So just don't be discouraged by the pressure and the stretching, because it always has a purpose.
I was gonna say on your last point, not because now that we're kind of shifting out of friends and just into things that you go through in life. I remember me and my sister were having this conversation because, like, you guys, the way me and my sister act, it's just crazy. Like, you go, and you just hope you don't stop.
Yeah.
And I feel like because we were talking and we were like, it's so crazy the way that you can just go through so many things, but then just can't stop. Like, life will not stop.
Yeah, it doesn't stop.
I gotta go through, and then I still gotta make sure I pray. Like, I can't I can't just take a pause and be like, I'm suffering right now.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
No.
I'll take my day off.
No.
And it's like, I think
days off.
that is, I think, the hardest part for a lot of Christians who grew up in church. They never were able to understand the fact that no days off for real. Like, it's just like you're doing it, and it seems like a bad thing at first, but then when you really start to see stuff as like just everything falling in line, like I can't stop, because if I stop, my purpose stops. Like I always said this, me and one of my friends, we always talk about how the more you detour from God's plan, the more pages you're adding to the book that didn't need it.
Wow.
Like,
that didn't need it.
You're adding more chapters, you're adding these people, you're adding these situations, and it's like, I'm trying to end you on page 200.
Exactly.
You got us.
We up to 250. You got us at 1,000 right now. Like
it's hard, but you just gotta keep no days off for real.
That's
keep
so good,
working at
because
it.
God's will is gonna be done. Like
Right.
if he called you and you're chosen, and like I said, if you keep going, His will is gonna be done. Like He'll bring you around the block.
Yeah.
But if you want to act a fool for a month,
Or if you must.
you got like what David
gonna say,
literally God told the sword would not leave his house.
Yeah.
Like he's still blessed. It still says in the Bible, a man after God's own heart. But he had to go
and his
through.
lineage still reigns.
The Israelites, bro.
Yeah.
40-year detour.
Oh my Lord.
40-year detour.
Oh my Lord. Yeah.
Still got the promise.
Facts.
Moses just like, bruh.
Poor Moses, man. Shout out to Moses, man.
Remember that guy just sitting there like,
Man, he was like, Lord, please.
Not on his P's and Q's.
For real. I don't know.
generation
Y'all
have
might have struck
died.
the rock too, man. If y'all was in Moses' position.
Now let's talk about that.
Woo-wee!
Because people be
A pillar of fire.
How you gonna strike the rock?
Nah,
I wouldn't have strike the. I wouldn't have bit the apple.
Folks
Okay.
in your face.
Okay.
In your face.
Because you don't
Okay.
even know, bro. You get mad at your sister
Bro,
for messing with
come on.
Talking about you wouldn't have struck the rock. We walked across the Red Sea on dry land. And y'all
Beat it
talking
down.
about God can't feed y'all or give y'all water? Like, chill.
Y'all probably don't know this
Chill,
quote,
chill,
but it's from Veggie Tales where they was trying to go back. They're like, oh, we want to go back. And they're like, we were in slavery. It was like, nothing is perfect. Like, that's how,
perfect.
like, you got
that's
people
real.
in
That's
your
so
face talking
funny.
about, I want to go back, I want to go back.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
Get
Moses,
out of my
man.
face.
Moses was going to
Yeah, that might have to be a whole nother episode.
No,
Yeah.
bro,
Oh, it's
we're
over?
so off.
Yeah, it was a good episode, guys.
Yes,
Episode.
that
We're
was
going
great.
everywhere
Yeah,
most
we're
of the episodes,
literally.
yeah.
Yeah.
What was we even talking about?
I don't even
Church
know.
kids?
You're talking about church kids, but
This is not
the
the-
importance
You go through
of
the
which
purpose.
church is very important also.
Yes.
Yes, we got a good one.
We do have a great
got a good
church.
two.
Shout out to our church.
Emmanuel's Temple,
Emmanuel's
bro.
Temple. We have
Listen,
one
if
church.
you need a
I
church,
thought we were talking about episode.
No, it's okay.
That's
no,
okay.
it's fine. No, it's fine. I wasn't gonna say anything, but I was like,
if you looking for a church home that you want to be welcome to into the family, Emmanuel's Temple,
Emmanuel's Temple.
Emmanuel's Temple, and if you are
Sing.
okay,
Oh,
It's
And-
still the same. Okay,
and
just
if
let her
you
have it.
are
Let her
a-
have it.
she
Yeah,
can have it.
Let her have it.
and if you are a young person looking for a nice, young, vibrant, faith-based church group, we be lit. I promise you,
We be lit.
we be lit.
Please. That's not how we would say
ITY.
it.
he be lit.
He be lit. We
be
we
lit,
don't
y'all.
be
We
lit.
be having
don't
fun.
I
Church
promise
kids
we're
have
cool.
fun.
I promise we're cool. He's
No,
not a
for
great
real,
example
for
of
real.
it.
I'm probably not a good example. That's
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Come to
I'm joking.
ITY. Check us out. You can check us out on Instagram and everything.
Link in bio.
I was
Yes.
trying to say we got a good 2 episodes in, but yeah.
You're
So-
still on that? Like,
Yeah, I
let
just
it go.
can't believe
It's
I
okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. Let it go. Like we got one church.
It's okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
Almost
It's
hit
fine.
that
No, it's
T.
She got 2 churches.
Guys,
I don't know where she be going on Thursdays, but
2 episodes.
it's not Emmanuel Simple.
That's okay.
It's okay. We know. It's okay.
Come on, take us out.
Yeah.
Take us out, friend. Take us out.
Anyways, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this video. We definitely enjoyed making it.
This was fun.
We hope you guys learned
Fun,
a
good
lot.
times.
We hope you can apply this to your life. Hope
Please
Isaiah
do.
can get a lot of clips from it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
But anyways, we will
Catch you later.